I just automated 80% of customer support for a real business using a single AI agent. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I did it, the knowledge that I fed it, as well as the different actions that this AI agent can take that will save your customer support countless amount of hours. These are actions like sending Zendesk tickets, notifying your team on Slack, integrating Stripe, etc. By integrating an AI agent like this into your business, you can save your customer support countless amount of hours, as this AI agent doesn't just answer questions, it can actually take actions, like a real assistant could. So in this video, we'll build an AI agent for a coffee subscription company. The AI agent that we will build will be able to answer any questions regarding the product, users' accounts, as well as onboarding. It will also be able to capture customer information for anybody who is inquiring regarding your product. And of course, using the analytics, we'll be able to improve this chatbot over time to make it even more effective. So to get started with building our AI agent, we'll head over to chatbase.co. Here, just click the sign in button to get started. Once you're in the top right, click on new AI agent. Here we can enter our website URL and choose our agent's use case. In our case, I'll set that up later, so I'm gonna skip this part. Now right away, this is where the AI agent training begins. We have a few different options. We can either train it on our files, we can train it on text, a website, Q&A, as well as our Notion database. For our case, I'll proceed with the file. So for our agent, I'd like to train it on our product FAQs, subscription policy, onboarding guide, as well as the brand background. I'm going to select all of these PDF files and drag and drop them here. If any of these you'd like to remove, you can just click here and press delete. But once you're done with this window, close it down. And here you have an option to upload more training documents. For example, if you click on text, you can manually type in text here. Same for the website, you can add your website URL, and then Chatbase will actually go to your website and scrape all the information about your business. You can also do an individual link if you don't want Chatbase to go through the entire website. For our case, I've already included all information about our business within our PDF documents. Additionally, you can also do a Q&A, so you could title the question here, write the actual question, and then write the answer here as well. And lastly, the Notion, you can link into your Notion database or a Notion page that has all the required information about your business. Once you're done, just click train and continue. Here we can actually name our agent and customize what it will look like. For the name, let's change it to Brewbot. I'm going to change the color here as well. If you want, you can also make it dark mode, but I'd like to proceed with the white one. And here we can also upload the profile picture. Then we'll click on looks good. Here we can give a role for our agent. Now the basic instructions given by Chatbase are already pretty good. You can actually change them here. For example, if it was a sales agent, you can change it to that. Or if it's a customer support agent, you can choose this one, or a general agent as well. In our case, we'll choose customer support agent. Or if you want, you can also click on custom prompt and enter your own prompt here so that it talks exactly the way that you want to. In our case, I'm quite happy that the customer support agent prompt already. Then we'll click on confirm settings, and right away we'll be presented with a preview of our chatbot. Now we can go right away and actually start testing it. So I'm gonna say, what's the difference between your coffee beans and the competitors? As you could see, it's using the training data to answer our question, responding exactly what makes this company different. Right now we're using GPT 4.0. If you want to change it, you can just click here and choose from a selection of different models. If you want, you can also click on compare. And this way you can actually compare different models side by side. For example, here we can change it to Claude and then ask the same question. When we send through our message, we'll be given a live preview of what it will look like when our chatbot actually responds. In our case, GPT replied way faster, but Claude replied with a lot more detail and much nicer formatting. However, I feel like it was a little bit too slow. So I'm going to change this 4.0 to 5 mini and then ask the same question. Okay, 5 mini was faster and the answer was more detailed. So I'm quite happy with this one. So let's change it here to 5 mini as well. And here we can actually change the temperature to make it more creative. I feel like the previous response was a bit bland, so I'll put it on 0.4 to make it slightly more creative. Now here again, you'll see the base instructions. So this is the stuff that we chose previously. At any time, you can change this prompt. And the other thing you'll see here is AI actions. So these are different actions that our chatbot can actually take. So let's set them up. To do that, let's click on actions and then click on view all the integrations. Here we can link different platforms that we would like to integrate with. In our case, I'd like to link to Slack so that our chatbot can notify us on Slack when specific topics are brought up. I'll also like to link it to Zendesk so that the customers can actually escalate the tickets for their refunds. Here I'll just have to enter the domain for my Zendesk account and click submit. Okay, now Zendesk and Slack are both integrated. Now you can also link Stripe so that the customers can actually ask questions about their billing, payments, etc. I won't go over it in this video as that actually requires a little bit more technical setup, but if you'd like to know how to do that, just let us know in the comments and we'll make a video specifically on this feature. And I'll also leave a link down in the description where I showed you this feature live. However, what we will be able to do if we do link Stripe is when the users ask specific questions in the chat, like updating their billing information, updating their address, etc. Chatbase will be able to sort that out itself. So for example, user asks update my address, it will then ask the user for the address and then automatically update that within Stripe. But in this video, we'll cover this functionality as it's a little bit more important for what we're doing. So once you're done with the integrations, just click on actions again and then click on create action. Here we'll be presented with all of the different actions that we can link our AI agent to. For our case, let's actually start with collect leads. So this way, whenever somebody starts talking to our chatbot, we can actually capture their details. This way we can capture new leads as well as the information that is required for the tickets. Here you'll have to tell Chatbase when to actually use this feature. In our case, we'll just want to execute this action right at the beginning of the conversation. So just click save and continue, then choose the selected fields you'd like to capture and then click save and continue once again. Here you'll have to set a message. So I'll just set it to success and dismissed. Click save again, and that's it. That feature is now enabled. We can try it out. We'll go back to Playground, and actually I didn't save when we made the changes here, so make sure you save it. And as you can see in the AI actions, we have one action enabled right away. If you want to, you can always disable it, but let's enable it back and actually try it out. As you could see, the chatbot responded asking what the user would like more information on, and then also sent through a form. Here we can fill in our information and then click submit. Now the form has been submitted. And if we actually go to activity and we go to leads, we'll be able to see all of the different leads that our chatbot captures. So now whenever we get a new user on the website that would like to inquire about our products, we'll be able to capture them as a lead right away. But let's power up our chatbot even more and add more actions. The next action I'd like to ask is the Zendesk ticket. Here by default, it says use the Zendesk ticket when user explicitly requests a ticket. In this case, we'll say requests a refund, or let's say user has payment issues. You can customize this to your own liking, but I'm happy with this and I'll just click on save. Now let's go back to Playground and test that out. Okay, let's now tell it that I'd like a refund, and then it asks us for more information for the actual refund. So let's give it an email again. Let's say packaging was damaged, send that through. Okay, and as you could see, our chatbot has now submitted a ticket, and it actually shows you the preview of the ticket. And if I go back to Zendesk, I can actually see this ticket live. So let's click on it. And here our customer support will be able to see the ticket and get back to it. And our customer will also get an email with a copy of this ticket as well, so that they can communicate with the actual customer support agent by email. To modify it even further, you can go to activity and go to chat logs. Here we can actually click on revise answer and we can enter an expected response that we would actually prefer. So I entered one here that's a little bit more playful and a bit more friendly. Once we're happy with that, we can just click on update answer. Now chatbot will always remember this revisions that you made. So when we actually go back to our chatbot and test it out, it will be responding with our revisions in mind. This way you can always iterate in your chatbot and make sure that responses that it gives out is exactly the way that you want. In the chat logs, you'll always see the responses from your customers as well as the entire story of the conversation, so you can change any of the responses that come through. Now let's set up one more last action. In our case, I would like to set up a Slack notification. Let's select our workspace, give it an action name. In our case, I would like our team to be on top of any possible refunds to make sure we respond to those tickets as fast as possible or track any batches where something went wrong. So let's set the channel name here. And for the topics, let's put refunds. Let's click on save and enable and then go back to Playground. Now let's try again. I'd like to issue a refund. My batch was bad. Okay, it asked us for more information, so order number. Okay, in that chat, I asked for a refund, and after my response, the chatbot actually started a Zendesk ticket, and as you could see, it also notified us on Slack. And when I open my Slack, I can actually see this notification here from Chatbase. This way, your team can get notified right away when customers present certain issues. Now, one of the ways I already explained to make our chatbot better over time is, of course, the chat logs. Here we can revise any answers to make them better. But at any time, you can also go back to sources and upload new training data or remove all training data as well. So maybe the onboarding guide is not valid anymore, as well as maybe something about our branding has changed. You can select those two PDFs and just click on delete. And at any time, we can always upload more PDFs, add more text, maybe add an extra URL from our website, or link to a different Notion. If you go to suggestions, Chatbase will actually bring up any issues that you might have in your database as you are using a chatbot. So keep an eye on that one as well. Now, when we go to the analytics, we can actually see the analytics for our chats. Now, obviously this chat has not been deployed, so we don't have any data to show here yet. But in the analytics tab, you'll be able to see all of the data for your chatbot. How many conversations it had, the total messages. That way you can actually track how well your chatbot is performing. And after your revisions, you can also check in there once again to see if the performance has gone up or down. In the topics tab, you'll be able to see the common topics that show up in your chats as well. And in the sentiment, you can keep track of how the chats are going, whether they are positive, neutral, or negative. Now, to deploy our chatbot, we can click on the deploy button here. There is a lot of different options for actually publishing your chatbot. You can either do it as a chat widget on your website. You can do it as a separate help page, so just a direct URL your customers can access. You can also link it with Zapier, Slack, WordPress, Instagram, and other social media accounts as well as obviously a custom API. This way, your customers can access your chatbot anywhere. No matter where they want support, they will always be able to get it. In our case, let's embed it as a chat widget. I'm going to enable that here and then click on manage. Then I'll go to embed once again. Here you'll actually be able to customize it once again. If you're not happy with the customizations you did at the beginning, you can change the display name, initial messages, suggested messages, etc. So for the suggested messages, we're going to actually add some here. We can say, tell me more about your coffee. So any of the suggested messages you have here, the customers will actually be able to see right away within the chat so that they can click on it to quickly get the conversation going. Now, when we are happy with our chatbot and we would like to embed it, just click on the embed button here. And then I would like to embed it as a widget. So in the bottom right of our website. So I'll just choose that and then copy the script given here. In my case, I'm going to integrate it on my website. So I'll be back in a second once I've copy pasted that in my backend. Okay. And I've now integrated Chatbase on my website. So when I click here, we can actually interact with our chatbot. So once again, let's say, tell me more about your coffee. And as you can see, it responded with the knowledge from our knowledge base. However, this message is a little long. So what you could do here is go back to the chatbot and revise it and just make sure the message is not too long. Maybe it gives a light overview and then ask the leading question. So ask the user what specifically they would like to know. I asked another question and then here it's actually trying to capture us as a lead. So let's enter our info here and send that through. Now I'm going to go back to Chatbase and I go to leads. We can see that it got captured. And if we go to chat logs, we'll be able to see the logs as well. So that's how you can also build an AI agent that automates 80% of your customer support. An AI agent that is trained on your actual knowledge, wired to real systems within your business, and is constantly improving. If you want to build a similar AI agent for your business, click the link in the description. You can get started for free, no credit card is required. And in the next video, we'll be breaking down the sales agent that works on prospecting and generating ideas for you 24/7. So make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss that one.